Hey, so I want to make a new video on my updated tornado shot magic find character. This character I used to farm multiple mirrors at this point. And it's at this point pretty much min max. Now I did make a video on this character like 5 days ago, but I've updated this character quite substantially. It's quite different now with the passive skill tree. If you remember from the old video, we're using a Caspio Jewel over here and using Supreme, but we're no longer doing that. Instead, we're using a Lethal Pride. So yeah. I wanted to go over all the changes and the build as a whole. It's now pretty much done. The only thing I'm missing is a double corrupt on my Calm Spirit. Outside of that, yeah. So here is the POB. So I guess let's just go over the items real quick. So we have the Mirror Bow, Faux Wing, Mirror Curve from Sushi. This is how we get physical converted to cold. Helmet, triple rarity, the 60% fractured. Helmet has intelligence needed on this. Freeze Embrace. This is the best double corrupt in my opinion. They reduce damage from crits and +1 gems. +1 gems is mandatory. Gloves, Con Spirit. Would like another corruption here. Boots, Goldworm. This is the best double corrupt you can get. Moving speed, life regen. Very important for rage up time. Eyes of Great Wolf. This Eyes of Great Wolf or Multi are pretty much equal. The reason why they're pretty much equal, Multi will show more POB DPS, but you won't shock as much with Multi. So this allows you to shock pretty easily. Usually on the boss, I get around 15-18% shock. If I was using a Multi Great Wolf, I would not get that much shock. So they're both pretty equal. But yeah, either one's fine. Really good adventures, of course, with the Calandros. Then Rarity Hunter. Probably this would be Quant, but yeah, Quant Hunter doesn't exist. Flash is just Silver, Quicksilver, Gold. There's just Stillet and Progenesis. So yeah, let me go over the tree changes real quick. So we're using this Warrior's Tale right here because it's absolutely insane value for like any bow build, not just Magic Find. So we get +2 hours right here, +2 hours right here, and then +1 hour right here. We're getting 5 arrows from our passives, which is obviously quite absurd. As you can see, we're 10 arrows, which is really, really high despite not using endless munitions. And we're also not taking Master Fletcher. So yeah, this Warrior's Tale spot is honestly pretty broken with these proj tattoos. It allows you to really customize your character in different ways that we haven't been able to do before. So we're not taking endless munitions, right? Instead, we are doing Forbidden Jewels for Force Infusion, which allows us to be spell suppression cap and have permanent phase-in, which then allows us to use like different flasks or different jewels, right? Specifically in this case, Progenesis. So yeah, outside of that, we have this Lethal Pride here, which is absolutely insane for the damage. Here, our DPS, we go from 3.5 mil to 4.4 mil, and on top of that, it fixes your strength and gives you like some amount of life. So yeah, absolutely insane Lethal Pride replacement. I mean, this is pretty standard. Both builds have always done this, but yeah, I also included my Magic Find build. Outside of that, for the passive tree, we're using this 12 passive cluster. This fixes your chaos res and gives you a lot of life. Really high value here. It's pretty expensive, but yeah, very, very high value. You're wondering how we're converting. So we're converting from the mastery right here, the Watcher's Eye, and then the last 25% comes from the quiver. As I get 100% conversion. And then of course the last thing to talk about on the tree, I guess, is this Call to Arms. So Call to Arms allows you to use Enduring Cry right here. And since we're using comms, this is essentially 21 rage every 8 seconds. In other words, about 2.3 to like 2.4 rage per second on average. So yeah, that's a lot of rage regen for essentially 1 passive point and 1 gem slot. It's really, really free. Also gives you endurance charges that you'll keep up pretty easily as well. This is some more extra added defense. But yeah, this Enduring Cry tech that's new to this league is quite insane, obviously, for rage. I should have endurance charge ticked on here too. But yeah, also quite insane. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the passive tree. Everything else is pretty much standard bow build. The only thing I guess I could talk about, I don't have that much projectile speed. I value projectile speed quite heavily on Tornado Shot, but not really in Crimson Temple. On Crimson Temple, since it's a pretty, narrow map, it's an indoor map, right? there's walls everywhere, and your arrows really don't go that far. So this is pretty much the only source of projectile speed, which I've personally found to be enough. I'm still killing some stuff off screen. But yeah, most of the time your projectiles are in the walls anyway, so I don't really see the value in getting more projectile speed. If it was something like Cemetery or Dunes, then you would want a lot more projectile speed for sure. But yeah, in Crimson Temple, I really don't think you need that much projectile speed. So that's pretty much it for the passive tree, all the important bits here. We can next go over the defense of the build. The defense of the build, we see a 35k EHP, 11k Fizz, quite high, 35k Elemental, Cat Spell Suppression, 310% move speed, 65% chance to evade. So this defense could actually even go higher as well. You'll see here, we're not using a guard skill. But if I put on a guard skill, right, and you can just drop in power for this, right? The reason why I don't use a guard skill is I don't want another button to press. As you can see, my bars are pretty much already filled. Like, I'll also place this with a guard skill, but yeah. I don't want to press another button. So I personally don't use a guard skill, but you certainly can, right, if you want to add more defense. If you add Steel Skin, you're now 16k Fizz, 51k Elemental, 52k EHP. Quite high EHP. And you can go above that and use a Taste of Hate. So if you now also use a Taste of Hate, right, which is also a DPS increase, you can use over Gold Flask, by the way. You're now 58k EHP, 19k Fizz, and, same Elemental pretty much. So you can be quite tanky. Like, this 58k EHP as a Magifying character is extremely tanky, right? Very tanky. Very few Magifying characters reach that high EHP, especially the Fizz mitigation here, right? 19k. So yeah, personally I don't do that. I find no guard skill, no Taste of Fate to be enough. This EHP is enough for me. I do negative max maps. I do reduced spell suppression maps. I pretty much do the rippiest maps, and I still rarely die. I probably die once every like 10 to 15 maps, which, as a full-on Magifying character is quite good. As you can see, I am currently 90% quant, 421% rarity. So really high quant, really high rarity. Despite, being an overall pretty sturdy Magifying character with a lot of movement speed. So yeah. Next thing to talk about, I guess, is the DPS real quick. So DPS is only 4.4 million, which might seem low for the amount I've invested, but it's because I built my character around Headhunter. This is a mistake I feel like a lot of people do. They don't build their characters around Headhunter. So you see I have 63% crit. I only have 63% crit because I have Headhunter. There's no point in getting capped crit chance or like 90% crit chance when you're using this belt. The reason why, Headhunter is going to cap your crit in like less than a minute in the map, and then it's going to stay capped for the rest of the map as you refresh the buffs. So yeah, if I, let's say, added on a Headhunter buff here, 30% increased critical strike chance, this is one of the mods you can steal. We go to 5.7 million DPS. There's another Headhunter mod that gives you guaranteed crits, which would cap your crit. So yeah, I built my character around Headhunter. This is why I have low crit chance, because in reality, it's not really low. You're in the map for 30 seconds, and you're going to be near cap crit anyway. So yeah, this is why I also don't use power charges. The reason why I don't use power charges, once again, don't need the crit. Also because Headhunter can give you power charges. But yeah, you don't need power charges when you're playing with Headhunter. You don't need cap crit. The only reason why you're going to cap crit if you're playing with Headhunter is if you're like a cast on crit build or something. So yeah, that's a mistake I see a lot of people do with Headhunter, is they don't really build a character around Headhunter. They just put it on and forget about it, which, while you could do, if you're going to play a Magifying character, you should min-max your character around Headhunter if you are going to use it. And I guess on that note, I do think Headhunter is better than Mageblood. When you have this much movement speed, as you can see, 310%, we have so much movement speed because of Berserk and because of movement speed tattoos now. Yeah, when you have that much movement speed, I don't think Mageblood is really all that better than Headhunter anymore. I think Headhunter is just straight up better for juice mapping. You kill so many rares in your map, you're going to steal a haste buff anyway, and then you're the same move speed as Mageblood while having more damage and more defense than a Mageblood character. So yeah, I think Headhunter is just superior to Mageblood. But if you want to use Mageblood, you can. Just change out these flasks, right? And use like a Spire Learning here or something. So yeah, that's about it for the defense and the offense and the quantum rarity, I guess. Last thing to talk about, I guess, would just be the skill gems real quick. So we have Awakened Fork. I got the question a lot, why use Awakened Fork? Because we already have +1 chain. If you don't have chain, then you want to use Awakened Chain. But if you have one source of chain, then Awakened Fork is your next best gem option. Do not swap this out for anything in Crimson Temple, at least. If you're doing something like Dunes of Cemetery, then Awakened Chain might be better than Awakened Fork. But yeah, use Awakened Fork if you have Ricochet. Very strong together. Mirage Archer, I get this question a lot. Like, can I drop Mirage Archer? Should I use this? Answer is yes. Now, people just look at a POB DPS and say, oh wow, it only gives 29%. That's a pretty weak support gem. But it's a lot more than 29%. This is probably your highest damage support gem out of all of them. The reason being, this thing always attacks. You're not always attacking, right? You attack, then move, attack, then move. Mirage Archer is always attacking. In reality, this support gem is probably something like 60 to 70% more damage. So yeah, don't take off Mirage Archer, especially in Crimson Temple, where it's always attacking. Really, really insane. And then yeah, the rest of the boys are pretty standard. So next we just have Life Tap, Sniper's Mark, Marker and Hit, Frostblink. You can use Flame Dash here instead, your choice. Now we have Blood Rage, Enhance, Berserk, and Power. Like I said, you can swap Empower for Steel Skin. Empower is really not all that big. I've only used Empower because I actually have nothing else to use here. Dread Banner, Arrogance, Vitality, Precision. Pretty standard. The reason why I use Dread Banner, I get this question a lot too, I guess, is evade chance. So without Dread Banner, 56% chance to evade. With Dread Banner, you are 65% chance to evade. So that's a roughly 9% more chance to evade, which is roughly like 20 to 21% less attacks taken. Or in other words, you're pretty much taking 20% less damage. So yeah, Dread Banner is really, really, really nice. Plus you get 2% extra from here. So you're taking like 22% less damage just from activating Dread Banner, at least for attack-based hits. So yeah, Dread Banner is really insane. I always use this if I'm using Grace or any evasion-based character, which have like 11k evasion, right? And you could get more evasion too. Honestly, if you use a Jade Flask, you can get like, I don't know, 25k evasion or something. Then Norris, also have Enduring Cry here. Put this anywhere. Then yeah, Pure Elements, how you get Alien Immunity, Hatred, Awaken Enlighten. I need Awaken Enlighten for my setup, I also don't have enough mana. Grace, and Petrified Blood. So yeah, I really, really like Grace on every single Mattifying build. I think it's really amazing for mods. I always try to fit it in. I never drop Grace personally, but yeah. So I think that's about it for my Mattifying character. I don't have like a video showcase, but I've streamed this character all day on live stream all the time. So if you want to like see what it looks like in action, just check out my Twitch or check out one of the VODs, right? But yeah, I also have the POB notes here, just for the regex and stuff. If you want to like check it out and use this build for yourself. But yeah, that's about it. I do have two cheaper budget versions. One's like 2 mirrors, and the other one is like 350 divines. So it's not just this one expensive character. Yeah, that's about it.